Welcome to Retire on Your Terms. This is the SafeSimpleSound podcast, where our constitutional approach to financial planning creates both and solutions for the contradictions families face. I'm speaking with you today, drawing from our team's chartered financial consultant background and our S3 framework development. In today's episode, we're exploring a common challenge for those between 40 and 55, the feeling that retirement is just a big, scary math problem. It's the same topic we recently wrote about on our blog because we've observed that the traditional focus on finding your number often leads to anxiety and paralysis, not clarity. Whether you're feeling confident about your savings but unsure of your direction, or feeling overwhelmed by the numbers and disconnected from the process, this episode will give you a powerful starting point. Through our S3 approach, we're going to help you build a foundation for your future that is based on your vision, not just a spreadsheet. If you've ever sat down to think about retirement, you've probably been hit with that one intimidating question. What's your number? How many millions do you need to be safe? This question, while well-intentioned, often does more harm than good. It frames your entire future as a single, high-stakes calculation. It can feel like trying to build a house by ordering a mountain of lumber and hiring a team of contractors before you've even thought about the blueprints. It sounds absurd, doesn't it? Yet, this is exactly how many people are encouraged to approach planning for the most important decades of their lives. This numbers-first method is a recipe for anxiety. Without a clear vision for what you're building, the number feels arbitrary, meaningless, and often completely unattainable. It disconnects your money from your life, turning a journey that should be about purpose into a stressful race against time. This creates a frustrating contradiction, a false choice that many families feel trapped by. Is retirement planning a cold, numerical calculation, or is it a deeply personal life design process? From our SafeSimpleSound perspective, the answer isn't either or. It's both and. This is the absolute core of our contradiction-free living approach. The numbers are essential, of course, but they must serve a higher purpose, your personal vision for a fulfilling and meaningful life. That's why, in our practice, we don't start with spreadsheets. We start with a blueprint. We call this your retirement constitution. It's a foundational document that grounds your financial future in what matters most to you, your values, and your vision. This is the first, most critical step in building a plan that is truly safe, simple, and sound. A plan feels genuinely safe when it's built on a solid foundation. Your constitution provides that safety. It ensures that every single financial decision, from how you save to how you invest to how you protect your family, is intentionally designed to support the life you actually want to live. This approach embodies the steady, reliable wisdom of our trustworthy tortoise philosophy. We start at the beginning with the foundation and build from there with purpose and intention. So, what's the first principle, the first article of your personal retirement constitution? It isn't about money at all. It's about defining your why. This is the essence of our vision-first direction principle. Before we can talk about how to fund your retirement, we need to clearly and intentionally define it. This involves asking profound questions that lead to powerful clarity. Questions like, what does a day in your ideal future life look like? From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. Who are you spending your time with? Where are you? What activities are filling your days with energy and purpose? Critically, what purpose will replace the structure and identity that your career once provided? And what legacy do you want to leave behind for your family and your community? Answering these questions is far from a simple feel-good exercise. It's a strategic act. It transforms your financial plan from a dull list of obligations into a compelling mission statement for your life. When you know you're saving for 3 months a year in a small coastal town to paint, or to be fully present to help raise our grandchildren, instead of just saving for an abstract concept called retirement, your entire motivation shifts. Your financial goals become anchored in your deepest values, making the entire process more meaningful, more resilient, and far less stressful. This vision-first approach allows us to reframe some of the technical and often intimidating concepts in financial planning. Drawing from our CFC background at SafeSimpleSound, we often encounter a term called RWLE, which stands for Remaining Work Life Expectancy. In traditional planning, this is simply the number of years you have left to accumulate assets. It's a number that can feel like a countdown timer, creating a sense of pressure and anxiety. But through the lens of your retirement constitution, we reframe this concept. We call it your purposeful work span. This isn't just playing with words, it's a profound strategic shift. By first understanding your why, your final career years are no longer just about maximizing your 401 contributions. They become a deliberate, intentional phase of your life with specific goals that align with your vision. Your constitution might guide you to accelerate, to double down on your career for a few more years to fund an earlier transition into your next chapter, to start developing a new skill, a consulting business, or a creative passion that you'll carry with you into your post-career life, to shift your focus from climbing the corporate ladder to sharing your wisdom and experience, finding a new kind of fulfillment right where you are. Your constitution provides the context. It tells us what these years are for. This allows us to build a financial strategy that supports your unique professional and personal evolution, rather than just chasing a number. To illustrate how this constitutional principle can resolve financial contradictions and create a clear path forward, let me share a hypothetical scenario. This story is created for educational purposes, but it demonstrates patterns we frequently observe when families begin to apply S3 thinking to their retirement planning. Picture a fictional couple, James and Sarah, both in their late 40s. They have 2 kids in high school. They've been diligent savers, and on paper, they're doing everything right. They have a healthy 401, some college savings, and a manageable mortgage. But every time they talk about the future, a wall goes up. James is an engineer. He sees retirement as a math problem to be solved. He's focused on their number, tracking the market, and running projections. He feels a huge weight of responsibility to make sure the numbers work, and his stress level is high. For him, the conversation is about spreadsheets and accumulation targets. Sarah, a teacher, feels completely disconnected from this approach. She wants to talk about their life. She dreams of traveling, of starting a community garden, of having the freedom to visit their kids wherever they might end up. When James brings up spreadsheets, she feels like her dreams are being reduced to line items. She feels the contradiction keenly. Her vision for their life feels at odds with his focus on the numbers. Their conversations are stuck in that classic either-or loop. Either we focus on the math or we talk about dreams. They're not moving forward together. Now, let's imagine they encounter the SafeSimpleSound framework and the idea of a retirement constitution. Instead of opening a spreadsheet, they sit down one Sunday afternoon to draft their preamble. They start by answering those foundational questions about vision and values. As they talk, something begins to shift. For the first time, James connects his relentless focus on the numbers to a core value: security. He's not just chasing a number, he's trying to build a fortress to protect his family. Sarah sees his actions not as dismissive of her dreams, but as an expression of his deep love and care. This creates psychological safety in their conversation. Then they define their vision. Sarah articulates her dream of the community garden and spending unhurried time with future grandkids. James talks about his desire to learn woodworking and build furniture, a passion he's never had time for. With this shared vision in place, they re-examine James's final decade of work. He always assumed he'd just grind it out until age 65. But now, he looks at it through the lens of his purposeful work span. He realizes that what he really wants in his final professional years is not another promotion, but the opportunity to mentor the young engineers at his firm. He wants to pass on his knowledge. This reframes his work from a grind into a legacy project, immediately reducing his stress and increasing his fulfillment. Next, they tackle their freedom timeline. This is the industry term RLE, or Retirement Life Expectancy, reimagined. Instead of a sterile calculation about how long their money needs to last, it becomes a vibrant blueprint for the life they want to live. They realize Sarah's gardening project and their desire for family time don't require a massive travel budget. James's woodworking hobby has a modest startup cost. They plan for a few big trips in their 60s and 70s, but their core vision is centered on purpose and connection, not extravagant spending. Suddenly, the numbers have a job to do. They can now calculate what's needed to fund this specific life, a life of mentoring, woodworking, gardening, and family. The both and solution clicks into place. The numbers are no longer in opposition to the dream. They are in service of the dream. James's need for security and Sarah's need for a vision are finally aligned. They have a shared mission. While this story is fictional, it demonstrates how our constitutional framework can transform a conversation from one of anxiety and conflict to one of clarity and partnership. It provides a shared language and a common ground. Through this example, you can see patterns we observe when families build this foundation. First, it resolves the conflict between the numbers person and the vision person by showing how both perspectives are essential and interconnected. Second, it replaces a vague, intimidating financial goal with a concrete, motivating life goal. The stress of saving for retirement is replaced by the joy of building our future. So, whether you're facing this exact situation, or you're on this journey alone, or you and your partner are perfectly aligned but just don't know where to start, the principle is the same. Starting with your constitution, your why, provides the safe foundation needed to make simple decisions that are sound for your unique future. Let's take a moment to summarize the key constitutional insights we've covered today. We began by challenging the traditional numbers-first approach to retirement planning, which so often creates anxiety. We introduced the SafeSimpleSound alternative, starting with your why by creating a retirement constitution. This is the blueprint for your future. We talked about our vision-first direction principle, which grounds your financial plan in your deepest values and a clear picture of the life you want to live. We then saw how this constitutional approach reframes technical concepts. Your remaining work-life expectancy is no longer a stressful countdown, but your purposeful work span, an intentional chapter of your life. And your retirement life expectancy transforms from a source of fear into your freedom timeline, a vibrant and inspiring canvas for you to design. Most importantly, we saw through our hypothetical example how this framework provides a both-and solution, ensuring the technical, numerical side of planning is always in service of your personal, human vision. So what is the practical next step you can take? How do you begin this process? The most powerful first step is to draft the preamble to your own retirement constitution. You don't need a financial calculator or a spreadsheet. You just need about 30 minutes of quiet time and a place to write. This week, we encourage you to sit down and answer these 4 foundational questions. Through our S3 approach development, we've also created a simple tool to help you with this exact exercise. You can download our free Retirement Constitution Preamble worksheet directly from the website. If today's S3 insights resonate with your family's situation, we invite you to explore what constitutional financial planning could look like through our SafeSimpleSound practice. Either way, you're now equipped with the constitutional capability of vision-first direction. This is a powerful tool that will serve you on your financial journey, whether you engage with our practice or not. You have a new way to look at your future, not as a number to be feared, but as a life to be designed. Thank you for joining us on the SafeSimpleSound podcast. We look forward to speaking with you again soon.